right. Morning, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Whatever it might be in your area. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Let me know. There we go. Now we should have audio. What's going on, everybody? I see we got the regulars in here. Let me go ahead and pop in some music. I think I fixed it from yesterday's stream. So let me know if you guys can hear me, if you can hear my music in the background. How's that? And then we can continue going forward. Chaotic, Mark, Zoomy, what's up? Can you guys hear me okay? And I think I fixed the background music like I mentioned. So we should be good. Just let me know in the comments so that I can, so I know we're all good. Let's check to see if we are streaming on YouTube. Oh yeah, we're streaming. Can you guys hear me okay? Zoomy? Let me know. Now I'll get started. I can hear you. The music is just a little faint. Oh, that's okay. I want it to kind of be background music, but here, let me crank it up a bit more. There we go. It should just be, some background sound, so it's not just me making slurping sounds as I drink, But thank you for letting me know. Everything is working fine. So today, or tonight rather, at least for me, back to this guy right here. So for those of you that weren't here in yesterday's live feed, we built this, and as you can see, I got the fans in there. This fan's going to need some modification because, I don't know if you can hear it, but we are touching something, and I got to sand it down a bit. I think I know why. It looks like some parts here, especially this part, actually mostly just this part, has a little bit of warping. And I think it's pushing the fan up just a hair in that area. So it's kind of doing a little rubby dub, but that's okay. I'll fix it, especially because it's just a parts cooler. That'll be okay. Let's get the chat up so I can see it before I see it on the small screen here. Yep, music's quiet in the background. Okay, cool, perfect. So the objective for today is to get this thing installed onto the King Rune machine right over here. I have the hot end apart, so I'm just gonna take off the parts I don't need, cut some of the wiring off. I'm going to put on some connectors. I ended up finding a pretty decent kit with a OK tool here to put on connectors, and I went ahead and I put on these two guys on the fans. I've actually never done connectors like this before. I usually just stick with DuPont because they're just easy for me, and I just tape them. But these should be nice, and I have them offset so they're not all right next to each other in a bunch. So the wiring should be nice and clean. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm really excited to get this thing on there. I think it's gonna, dramatically change this machine. The only concern I have at the moment putting it on is the Z limit on this machine. All the way over here is like a little screw. Can you guys see that? A little screw, and when this comes down, it just presses this. But this screw, it's an M4, and I think it's going to have to be taller, and I might not have a taller one. So I might have to just finagle something, for the stream just to get it running. Like I have plenty of M5s, I have endless M3s, but I don't have that many M4s. And I do have one kind of longish one, this guy, so we'll see. That might be the same exact one. It might not. I'll kind of put it in my little dish over here to mess with, and we'll figure it out. Yeah, thanks. It does look awesome. I'm really excited for it. I've never done any VORON related parts. I've obviously seen endless VORON stuff online, but I've never done any of it myself. And I know the Afterburner has a new version called the Stealth Burner that's improved in various ways. I'm well aware, but This one seemed simple enough, and I found a plate for it that I didn't have to design. It was already done for me, which is really nice. And I'll have a link for that when I do a video on this, in case anyone else is interested. But this made it, really easy because it's essentially an adapter that's already made, so I don't have to mess with it too much. So I figured instead of making the stealth burner, I'll make this. We'll figure it out, and we'll go from there. So that's kind of that part of it. Let me just make this M4x40. It probably does, but I don't know if I have one. That's kind of the problem. But we'll see. I have that one. It should be, I think it might be a 40 or it's a 35, so we'll see. I almost said something bad. You're going to, because I know how you roll, Zoomy. All right. So let me show you this, because I know, at least if you're like me, I've been dealing with 3D printers for a while, and I still haven't seen one of these like myself in person. So I personally think it's super cool to see. The design here, in my opinion, is just really nice. Let me see if I can get it in a way where I can show it to you in the least awkward space. So there you go. You can see it in 2 spots here. So the way that this thing is made in little compartments, I think is genius. So the first kind of compartments are air. And everything is meant to be serviceable and reprintable and modifiable, if that's even a word. But I just feel like it's so clever. Yeah, like I said, my only concerns are to see how these fans are going to run. I think I'm going to run into some issues, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. So essentially, just 4 screws. You pop those off. Voila. And your fans just come off. So for servicing the hot end, you could just lift this. For removing the fans, they kind of come off in their own little thing, like this, which is so nice. Wire management's really interesting the way it works here. And this fan, this is a 5015. I had to cut it all up to get it in here into its own housing. So you kind of like remove the fan housing and just put the motor and a little plate into here. It's really neat how this works. And it has its own ducts that kind of go all the way down to the hot end. So then you're left with this. And this is also 2 compartments. There's one compartment at the top here for the extruder, dual gear extruder. And then it's like BMG clone in here. And then your hot end compartment down over here. So it's super interesting how that works as well. And the extruder is really neat. So typically you have this lever with the gears, and there's one up top here. When you push this thing open, it's kind of rough because it's just, I haven't opened it that many times. You can see it kind of pops open this lever, and that's all you have to do in order to get filament in and out freely without the gears, clamping down the filament. And you can also open it and get in there, clean things out if something's jammed up or something along those lines, maintenance, all that stuff. So just that alone, I feel like is pretty genius. But that's not all. So the way that this hot end works, if you need to do maintenance or anything really, it works like this. So we just pop these 2 screws. You recommend this? Yeah. So for the VORON build, for the Trident build, I'm going to do the latest things possible. But for this was already here and readily available for me. And I've never done it, so I figured might as well have both. And kind of that way I'll at least get to see the evolution of how it worked. But yeah, that comes out, and then it just kind of wiggles free, which is amazing. Actually, I didn't get these enough out. So it just kind of comes off just like that, and now you're left with the rest of the pieces. So you have your air, you have your hot, and you have your extruder. So that's just genius. So Zex, right? Is that the best way to say it? It's okay. I'm just going to say Zex is the first 3 letters. Is the stealth burner, I'm assuming the front is just a single piece instead of multiples, and then it just comes off and it's done in a very similar fashion, just has some aesthetics and LEDs difference. Is that what the deal is? Like, I know Clockwork 2 is a little bit different, but it's not that different. I have a 2.4 and switch wire next to the Trident. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a Trident build with a FISEC kit. And I got some really cool PETG, ABS to print it in. I'm really excited for that as well. So I'll reveal that later on in a video when it's time and have my table set up and everything. But yeah, one of the other reasons why I just took everything apart is because to get it installed onto the KP3S, you need to get to this back bracket right here. And essentially these 4 holes right here is how we attach it to this particular printer. And this part is going to be different for every machine that you guys are going to be using it on if you are. Yes, and more cooling also. CW2 is a bit more better gear ratio and better torque. Oh, okay, nice. Actually, I got to figure out E-steps. So not only am I extremely new to Clipper, which is what's running on this machine, but I also saw that the person who remixed this or made this said 380 is what I should be doing. I don't remember how to do that, but I'm assuming you just go into that config and do it. So looking forward to doing that portion. Afterburner has better parts cooling airflow. Really, even better than this? This seems pretty good. Okay, well, anyway, yeah, I'm excited to see that, or at least build it rather. All right, so let's throw this thing on here, and I have some hardware put aside over here to see if I can get it on here through this bracket. So we'll see how that works. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to work or not. You know what I need to do? I need to get you guys a slightly better view of this area. So give me just a second, because we're not necessarily going to be working down low anymore, right? Just put that in there. Let's get this thing closer. All right, we'll use this camera for a little bit of a closer shot. So I can make you all nauseous with my camera angles. Let's see, how's that? Is that okay? Higher? Let's do a little higher. Yes, that's a 40-20 fan, and the Afterburner's 50. So I actually did the 50-15 mod on this. So as you can see, it doesn't say VORON right here, and it's bulging out. This is actually a Sunon 50-15 fan in here, cut down into here. So a lot more air, I'm assuming. But like I mentioned earlier, I think it's going to have an issue, but we'll fix that later. As long as it's all mounted, it should be good to go. Thanks, man. I'm excited as well. That's going to be a fun one. All right. I did notice that these holes are going to be a little tight with this hardware that I just dropped into a crevice. So I'm just going to pre-thread them a bit so it's easier. Let's get that to come out here like that. Yeah, so I used to use this fan on my custom machine. So one of the reasons why all this is happening is because I took my custom machine down into parts, and I wanted to kind of, use those parts because they were just sitting around for a year. And one of them was this fan. And on that machine, printing PLA at least, I had it running at 30%, and it was just craziness. Like, no one needs that much air, except for one person. Who maybe will be here today. I don't know. He was in the chat yesterday. Lord Boo himself. Darian is going to be my bad influence with Vorons. All right. Let's do a little more. Get this poking through. All right, let's get that on there. So yeah, I have a feeling this little printer, running Clipper, with this hot end modification on it with linear rails, I think it's going to be a little force to be reckoned with over here, and I'm genuinely excited for it. This is also giving me some ideas for the ultimate Aquila build. Although, like I mentioned in one of my other streams, I do have a plan for it that I'm kind of waiting on a vendor for, and we'll see what happens with that. Because I think if it does go through, it'll be really fun. So we'll see. Otherwise, I have some mild modifications for Aquilas coming. So I'll do them in videos like I just did with the direct drive modification I just showed off in a video. You talking about my boo? Yeah. Well, I mentioned fans, and I don't think I can mention fans without mentioning boo. If you need the gear ratio and stock rotation distance, just let me know. I'll send it. Oh, that's cool. Yes, I probably will. Just because I don't know. Never done it, so it's a whole new thing for me. Here's what I do know is the reason why I said 380 is because the person who put this on their KP3S has the same pancake motor. I know that probably doesn't matter, but since he has this motor and this gearing and the Afterburner, it should be at least close or a good enough start, so I'll start there. But I don't exactly know off the top of my head where to put it in. Like, I'll have to look up a do-it-yourself in Clipper, so maybe you can help with that when we get to it. All right, so that's on there. Looking good. That still works, doesn't interfere. We don't need to come out that far, but that's also good. Okay, so we'll mess with the Z height here in a second. Let me go ahead and just take this out to see what the height is now. Because I think I put a shorter one in. No, the longest one I have. Yeah, so that's probably going to be an issue for Z height. Trying to think of what I can add. Maybe I'll just stack up some magnets, which I do have like a stack. Okay, that'll be our temporary solution for getting this thing running tonight, or at least on tonight. So what I'll do is I'll, oh right, these aren't steel. Well, there goes that idea. Okay, well, I have some other things I can stack on top of this bolt to kind of lift it up. Hey, Darian, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the dono, man. That's very kind of you. Very, very much appreciated. And it makes me happy to know that, you know, you enjoy it so much that, you know, you're willing to do that. I think that's just, that's cool. That we're kind of like building a community and everyone's enjoying hanging out and talking and sharing info and knowledge. You know, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Let's go to the hot end. So the thing here is this has this Zodiac / Fetus hot end has a cartridge style thermistor, but I'm going to use it as an adapter. So I'm just going to put some of this Zodiac thermal grease inside, and I'll put the glass bead into it, and that's how we're going to roll with that. Also, before I go any further, I'm going to flip this PEI sheet. Pro tip, if you're going to be working on your machine and you have a good surface, put something on it or flip it so that you don't drop something on there and break it or mess it up. Sorry I missed the last stream. Hey, no worries. No worries. You're here now. Zach, so what's that for? What's that rotation different distance? Is that the calculation for, oh, okay. 50 to 17 for afterburner clockwork gear ratio. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to scroll to that at some point. Maybe I can copy and paste it somewhere. Yeah, I can do that. So let's do this. I'll copy that and I'll paste it right here. 50 to 17. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you getting that number. I'll definitely need some help putting that in the right spot. But I'm assuming it's in the printer config area. Like I said, I've literally haven't done it, so I just don't know. All right, I think I'm going to take this apart, just so to make it a little easier to handle the hot end, and then we'll go from there. It's easy enough to put back. This background music isn't too loud, is it? That's for Clipper. I'll get it where you need it. Okay, cool. You'll see it in the extruder section. All right, perfect. I appreciate that. All right, come on out of there. Screw. All right. Man, every time I take out this hot end, I'm just, it looks so good. Like, the design is so good. I wish I had a sock on it, and I might pick one up from a Fadus version to throw on here, because I don't have one. Alright, I need the tiny Allen key. Alright. Alright, so let's take out this little cartridge. And we'll put the glass bead in there. I just have to make sure I orient this thing the correct way. So it's this way. This faces the back or what? Let's see. Nope. This part faces this way. Yeah, like that. Which means this has to come in from this side. So I'm going to put this in here this way, just so that I know that it goes from this side, and clamp her down. And we'll put the glass bead in there with some thermal paste, which is already all over my fingers. I have paper towels over here somewhere. Let's get a little paper towel. Alright. Alright, so now I have to disassemble this thing a little bit. I lost chat. Where'd the chat go? There it is. Music's kind of porny. Alright. That's fine. I'll leave it porny. That's better than other things. Sexy like that hot end. The hot end is super sexy. It really is. Okay, tools. Let's get her out of here. Let's undo this Tessa tape, which reminds me I gotta grab a roll because we're gonna need it. By the way, the whole reason why I'm working on this machine instead of all the other things that I could be doing is because I genuinely enjoy using this little guy. I think it's like small enough to be on your desk, quiet enough, although with that cooling fan it's not going to be quiet anymore. But silent operation, it prints really fast, it runs Clipper, it literally does everything I want, and it's tiny, yet it can still do, 200 by 200, a little bit less, but that definitely makes it a very unique printer, in my personal opinion, and it's been fun to mod, so. Cool. All right, so this is going to be our, and you know what, I'll keep this on here for last minute, and I will cut this fan off. And let's figure out the plugs now. So on my little thing I have here, the 5015 needs to be higher than the other one. So I will give it about this much slack. I will cut it right here. Right. Yoink. See ya. Nothing like just cutting the wire. Let's see what fan we got. I probably actually should have just reused this fan. This cooling fan's actually been pretty good, but that's okay. That'll go in the good old parts bin. How'd my coffee get cold? That's random. Alright, we got our stepper motor. Then we're going to come over here. I never got a chance to test this nozzle out. I have a nozzle on here by 3D Max. They have these coated nozzles. Let me get that little cover because I thought it was pretty cool. Not cover, the label that was on it. What did I do with it? I had a label like out somewhere so I can show it off at some point. Let's see, let's get into our little parts bin. Oh, I guess I put it back in this box where I keep nozzles. Yeah, so they're diamondized nozzles. Like this one is a V6 style. The ones I had on here is an MK8 style, but these are nano diamondized. Well, just diamondized in this case. Nozzle, nano diamond, chromed and non-stick polymer coated. It has a 3-year limited warranty. I thought that was very interesting. It says you can get them on 3dnozzles.com, but 3D Max, where I suggest all the filament all the time, has them as well in various sizes, from what I understand. So I will be checking that out in some other way. I might even throw it on here. Why not? Especially because it's a 0.6. Actually, no, I don't want the 0.6 on here. I'll throw a 0.6 on a larger machine. Probably the Mingda Magician Max Pro. Which one? I have a massive 400 by 400 Mingda back there. So we'll probably go on that. A box of death. It is, but hey, I've already reused a ton of parts from it, so it's come in handy. Alright, let's see how stuck that is in there. Not at all. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so my beef with this hot end on the king ring. Now let's see if I can unscrew it in the right way. Oh yeah, I got lucky. Alright. Oh, here, let's get this close-up camera. So here's my beef. When you take this off, first of all, this isn't a direct V6 clone, like obviously it is. Hey, Angel. This is a different thread and different size as some of my other V6s. But what ends up happening is, can you see in there? Probably not. What ends up happening is this heat break doesn't go all the way to the top, and it leaves this like chamber of like a void essentially. And when you pull filament in and out, that's molten, that's hot because your hot end is hot. Some of it gets stuck up there, and it jams this thing up. And because it's up here and there's a fan on it, it cools down, and it blockades this entire thing. So you can clean your nozzle, you can take off the block, you can clean it all day long. There's nothing in here. What gets jammed is actually all the way up here, and it's a total pain. Maybe we should rename it the Box of Doom. Yeah, it probably needs a label. It's vast. It's here's some more parts going into it. Although I don't think I'll use that unless there's some fix for it specifically. All right, let's get some of this awesome thermal paste. Get a little dab-a-doo-ya. One for the thermistor and some for the actual heating element as well. I'm sure we'll make a mess with this stuff, but that's okay. It's good. All right, let me snake these two things in here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Come on. Oh. Should probably loosen that, huh? Oh, come on. All right. Let's get that where it needs to go. All the way. And then let's get this thermistor bead down into that cartridge. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And there's my little paper towel. Let's go ahead and clean that up just a bit. Just because this stuff can make a mess. Okay. I definitely need a new Allen key. I broke this Allen key the last time I was working on something, and now I have just this little stub. Although, it's working okay. Alright. That is that. I'm going to undo this piece of tape up here as well. I love this stuff. It's automotive grade tape for harnesses, for wires. Alright. Alright, and now I'm going to snip these wires for this fan. This is going to be the hot end fan. And this wire is a little bit shorter, so it has to be longer here. And that's how I'm going to know the difference between them. So we will snip that one somewhere here. Alright. See a little 30 millimeter fan. Hey, Stone's back. Does anyone have any experience printing glow-in-the-dark filament? Yeah, definitely. A teacher at my school clogged the Ultimaker S5, and I think it is because they tried printing glow-in-the-dark filament ABS with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. So yes, any abrasive filament can clog a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. Yeah, you don't want to roll that out. But yeah, I've printed a ton of different glow-in-the-dark filament. Most of the time I do print them on 0.4 millimeter nozzles, but I know that because it's abrasive, it has an additive in it, obviously, so that could clog a hot end. But the part about that is I know nothing about the Ultimaker S5, literally nothing. Yo, Lord, hey, how you doing? Oh, you didn't get a notification in Discord? I tried to do in everybody in there. Glow shouldn't be a problem, but that ABS might be. Yeah, that's also true. I'm just going to toss that little bracket out. Don't need that. All right, let's see if I got this portion correct. I did. Okay, good. So now I just have to weasel that in there. Okay. And another thing that I have to do here is make sure the path to this is all okay. So let's go ahead and install this on here. So this is directly in the way of that. I'm guessing it has to go outside of it. Right, because it can't go upward. All right. I can tell you that it causes school over 6,000. Oof, man. I think bamboos are gonna bamboozle the school industry, and it's less reliable than my Under 3. I've heard that angle before. The fact that they also have completely proprietary parts, but that is actually how they sell to schools, by the way. Is they say that you don't have to deal with aftermarket cheap clones and parts. They sell it as, we sell these kits, and we sell a warranty, and we sell a guarantee, and we sell parts kits, and they make it seem like purchasing a completely proprietary machine with proprietary parts is a good thing. And that's the same thing, the 2D printers. That's the same thing like printer papers and paper printers and copiers have done for many, many years. They sell these industrial machines to corporations with maintenance and part fees, and it's because they have these proprietary parts you can't get for other machines, and it's done so that they have, like, I guess like a repeatable customer, and not good for us little guys, but I guess in some cases it could work out for a corp because you have maintenance, but they charge you for that. So I think Ultimaker did it the same way, especially for education. That's how they sell it to schools. That's how they pitch the whole thing. I was scrolling up and saw my name. I think I sensed you talking about me. I did talk about you because we were talking about fans. So it's only right. All right, I'm hoping that bending these isn't going to be too big a deal. I don't think it will be. But I do need 2 zip ties. So let me grab 2 small zip ties. Yeah. Yes. Seek. Yep, that's facts. All right, hold on. Let me see where are my parts bin thing. Here we go. Okay, do I have tiny zip ties? I have 1. Is it a tiny zip tie? It is. I have 2 tiny zip ties. Perfect. All right, that'll work. Great right here. Yes. Yeah, plus they do like packages too, with materials. And that's like a big plus too, where you don't have to worry about ink cartridges. In this case, filament. All right, snug these up. Hopefully all this is going to be okay. It seems like it will be. I don't think it's pulling too bad. Although I don't like that angle right there, but it seems okay. We will know pretty much instantaneously if I did bad on this thermistor or not. I don't like that angle right there. Let me get my blade. Cut that little bit of tape just to give it a little bit more wiggle room. Let's see if I can do it really carefully. Just to get that angle a little bit better than how it is now. Okay, at least I know it has some slack. All right, good. All right, zip tie 1, zip tie 2, see ya. I'm helping my library with getting their Lulzbot to print ABS. I don't like Lulzbot. Another one of those where I don't have experience with it. But I did go to my library many times, and they have, I don't actually remember what machines they have. I haven't been in like a year or two, but they definitely had a few under 3s. We have a really large library by my house. Should probably visit there at some point a little more. There's zooming again. Yep, the wiggle room is not good, but I don't necessarily want any of this to wiggle, so that's okay. This is the stuff you don't want to wiggle. All right, that all seems okay with me. So let's go ahead and get that on there, and then we'll deal with the rest of the wiring. All right, so I'm going around here, and here's the beauty of this design. This just slides upward in its place. Genius. And this just goes boom right in there. I don't need to go crazy snug on anything here. Total needs not safe for work. Zumi, I think everywhere you are allowed to speak freely needs a not safe for work tag. All right. Here we go. But that's why we keep you around. All right, of course I got that paste all over the place. Into all the crevices, of course. Thermal paste. It's so hard to clean it up once you get it all over the place. There's an interesting texture to it. All right. Let's put that away before I smear it everywhere. I'm just saying what you were all thinking. You know, that's why no one fights you on it. All right, that's nice. The stepper motor can get plugged in, and this wire is just, you know, I know it's a budget machine, but man, that's a cheap wire. All right, and I'll have to like push this wire through so that it's even with the other wires. I'll make a loom out of it at some point when it's all done. Wait, why am I trying to save this tape? I have rolls and rolls and rolls. Let me go ahead and grab that. Where are you hiding? There's a bunch of new ones. Where's my used tape? Here he is. Gotcha. Alright, I'll keep that close by. Use it instead of zip ties. Right, this could just get pushed through here? Yeah, okay. I'll undo it all. You know what'll be easier? Cutting it. Plus, I always seem to risk cutting wires every time I do anything. Cookies. Good for the skin. Jesus. Need some freaking wires. Way to save it, dude. Way to save it. Alright. One last one. And we can get on with it. Like I mentioned, I'm going to put on some plugs. JST plugs for the fans. For easy maintenance. And today was the first time I've ever used those connectors. So it'll be fun to put on 2 more. Found a pretty decent kit on Amazon that includes the tool, this box of connectors, plus another box of DuPont connectors. So you get pretty much everything that you might need for certain projects. 35 bucks, pretty good. And the tool's legit. Come on, wire. Alright. There we go. I didn't cut myself or the wire, so that's a win-win to some degree. How'd this get so unorganized? What happened here? Alright, here we go. That's what I want here. This gets pushed in. Yes. Okay. I like that. I like that. Let's get the other wires over here. Fan wire. Fan wire. Alright, let's get connectors on here. And we'll figure it out. So, we need to split this guy up. And let's see if these are small enough to where I can just use these guys. There we go. Tie it up. Perfect. Yeah, I have to order more JST. Yeah, this is the first time I'm buying them. I usually like cut them off of other stuff and just splice wires together. Cover them up and just use the connectors. So this is the first time I'll be like making them. Stone's feeding it. No, don't zoom me. All right. Let's see. Oh, this song kind of sounds like something from The Matrix or something. Come on. I guess I could actually get some actual real wire tools and not use this, but come on. Challenge. There we go. That'll be good. All right, let's give these connectors a try, shall we? So we need the male connector, which is kind of backwards because the other one goes into this one. Typically, it's different. All right, we got these two that we're going to use. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. These have to be soldered on. The females, the males have to be soldered on, don't they? They do, because this side, the ones that get crimped on, are for the connector side, which is on the fan. Is that true? I think that's true. Okay, well, let me get my soldering iron. I didn't think about that. I thought, right. Yeah, male pin. Okay. Yeah, female pin connectors. Okay. That is that. Kind of had a little brain fart there. Okay, so what's the best way to do that then? I'll cut these a little bit shorter in that case. Good, make them somewhat long. And let's give my trusty soldering iron. And my battery. All right. Let's see if we can fit this all on here. My little helping hands over here. Okay, can't even tell if you can see what I'm doing because of all the background stuff that's happening, but it is what it is. So first, let's get these tinned, then we'll figure out the orientation of the connector. Solder, tip cleaner, some cleaner and flux. He needs one more Miller Lite. You know, out of the lights, I think Coors, I guess, is what I would drink if I was to drink a light beer or a Bud Light. But technically, if I'm drinking that kind of beer, I would just go for the classic Budweiser. But that's rare. I'd rather get pretty much anything else that's on the tap from somewhere else, like a microbrew. IPAs are cool. My favorite are brown ales. Red ales are cool. Newcastle used to be my favorite before they got bought out. Euphoria is another of my favorites by Duclaw. That was a good one. They just came back after like a 5 or something year hiatus. All right. Heat her up. And we got to turn this thing back up to 400, which is where I like it to be. Okay. And I'm going to need some shrink tubing, since this is a connector like that. Let's see, I have some little bits here. Okay. Let's use that. Snip these to size. Budweiser. You're just so America. Maple walnut ale. I would, if I saw that, I would get it. For a drink in almost 6 months. Good for you, or bad for you, depending on a lot of things. Alright, so what I usually do is I split up the wiring about that much, and that gives me enough space to put on our little heat shrink over here. Oops, that's the same one. There we go. Trying to run away from me. Come on, there you go. And there we go. Okay, get them as far back as possible so that when you tin these and solder them, they don't shrink before you want them to. You know? Shines. Yep. One of my neighbors really likes shines. Anytime he sees me, he tries to pawn off some moonshine on me. I need a fume extractor. Like, just for sure. The amount of soldering that happens down here, and I just breathe it in. Go ahead and tin these connectors too. Just gonna do it right down here real quick. All right, there we go. Clean the tip. Gotta clean the tip. I don't mean that in a weird way. You would legit want to constantly clean the tip. My wife didn't want to do the stout. My wife loves stouts and porters, mostly porters. If she ever gets a beer anywhere, if the porter is available, she will have one of those. I sometimes join her in that endeavor. Okay, so before I throw these on here, let me make sure I have this orientation correct, because this is really easy to mess up. So the connector facing me, it looks like ground is going to be at the top. Let me double check with this one. The ground's facing me. If the connector's facing me, the ground is at the top. So let's go ahead and do that. Put this connector into here. Get her close. Doesn't matter which one of these we do. Let's do that one first. Where is my tweezers? Here they are. Actually, first let me try it this way. Alright, so at the top, let's go ahead and put that together. Perfect. Actually, let me get you guys a better view. So while I focus, you at least have something to look at, you know? Alright, camera, how about you chill out? How about you chill out on that white balance? Sheesh. White balance is crazy right now. What's going on here? Does it need like something dark down here? Oh, there it goes. Alright, so now that we got that there, let's get the red on the other side. That's going to need a little bit more solder. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll double check. Top is going to be ground for us. I'll slide down these heat shrinks. Come on. Come on, connector. There we go. And then what I like to do is just use the soldering iron. Don't spend too much time on there to have a chance to burn it or something, but we just use this part of it. Get that nice and covered up. There we go. Okay, we're good. Let me double check with the fan. Yep, that will work. Red on the bottom, black up top. Okay. One connector, done. On to the next one. Ignore his chat, Feder. You don't even want to know. Oh, yeah, okay. Stone's really going in with you, huh? Just discovered I can zoom in on the YouTube videos. 8x zoom on the tip. Wow. That's useful for other streams. For other streams. You don't even want to zoom in here. All right. Clean the tip. You guys remember Radio Shack? I bought this stuff at Radio Shack. Where's the lid to this? Ages ago. And I honestly miss Radio Shack. I know you can go on Amazon and buy what you need, but going into a Radio Shack and knowing the thing that you wanted, some obscure connector or something, that was the best. Yeah, check it out. Radio Shack tip tinner and cleaner. Yeah. You can imagine how long I've had this, and there's still so much left. I'll probably have this for the rest of my life. And it works really well. Alright, let's get this. Oops. That just melted a bit, didn't it? think I just melted that a little bit. Yeah, should be okay. Maybe 400 is a little bit too hot for these tiny little connectors. It probably is. It's okay. Just get it done, move on. That needs more solder. There we go. That's good. Happy with that. Radio Shack. Tip thinner? No, tip tinner. Right? Tip tinner. Yeah. Tip tinner. So it tins the tip and cleans it. It should say cleaner and tinner. For some reason, it's the other way around. But it's definitely a cleaner first. Alright, perfect. Let's slide those over. Get this thing out of the way. Hopefully soldering is done. Let's cool this puppy down. Alright, while it's cooling. Oops. There we go. Alright, shrunken. Yeah, you could buy one connector, yeah. Electronic warehouse, wow. 30,000 square feet. Wow. Yeah, that's too much. Like, that's too much. You wouldn't be able to get me out of there in some situations. That's the problem. All right, let's check this one as well. Can I get that in there even though I melted it a bit? Let's see, I need something to bend it just a bit. Come on. There we go. I need this connector to connect. All right, it does. Okay. So we should be all set there. Let's get this back up to somewhere reasonable. All right, look at that lovely mess. Yeah, hobby shops are dying slowly for sure. Some of you might know, I also design board games. I have 2 published and the 3rd one in the works in Germany, and it was something I really pursued a few years ago, like trying to get the games into stores and published, and they would sell, but man, is it a dying breed for sure. Think about how, especially after the pandemic, you buy literally everything on Amazon. Everything comes in tiny little boxes the next day. You know, you can order literally a little tiny packet of JST connectors, like 5 connectors. They'll come to your house. A driver will deliver it to your house. All that gas, all that time and effort and energy spent. Kind of crazy. We'll see where the world goes, man. 2023 is going to be crazy. Amazon is definitely the best. Like, Amazon they've really figured it out. And it's funny that no one can directly compete yet. Like, they've grown so much faster than everybody else. I guess there's places in China that can do it, but not Not like anything else around here, at least. Pelco headquarters. I don't even know that name. Pelco. Does it say Pedco or Pelco? No, it says Pelco. No, I don't know that name. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to attach the fans. Actually, should I address the fan first? Or later? I can always take it off, right? Let's make sure they work first. Fans are pretty easy to get to. All right, let's get them on there. All right, cool. Exciting. All right, I think I got the wiring jammed up somewhere. I did. Maybe I should tape. Maybe I should tape this wire in here. Although, when am I gonna ever go in here once it's already on, you know? Probably never, so. Let's just hold it, get it on there, and go from there. There we go. I'll screw this one in first. Oh, drop boxes. You know, I still haven't. You know, I'm lucky enough to have an office for my day job, so I just have everything delivered directly to me. But yeah, I did notice that there's options for boxes. I just never had the chance to use them for anything. Speaking of delivery, I can't use my phone because it's using for the main camera. But I had a delivery of a machine, a snap maker machine delivered in the rain. FedEx dropped it off, and I have a porch in the front of the house, and it's definitely big enough to where some of it doesn't get any rain, like right in front of the door, like where they put it. But they put it right on the edge of the steps in the rain, and he left it there for hours before I got home. And you know, snap makers are really expensive machines. I rushed home. I ran over there, and I mean, amazingly enough, Snapmaker double boxed the machine. So when I took the outer box off that was completely drenched, the bottom one underneath was actually dry, which was incredible. So that's a lot of care that Snapmaker put in to know to double box their stuff to protect it a little more. So huge props for that, because I think any other machine would have been just gone. FedEx just literally left it in the rain. They could have pushed it 2 feet further and it would have been completely bone dry. All right, so here we go. We have the Afterburner on. I mean, that looks cool, first of all, right? Like seeing this tiny little machine with this Afterburner. It's definitely a good look. Pretty rigid. Actually, zero wiggling at all. So that's really nice. All right, let's get this wiring under control. Let's get a nice clean cut of this Tessa tape. Snapmaker knew about FedEx issues. Oh yeah? Is that something that was public somewhere? All right, so from what I remember, at least in my mind, from what I remember, I cut these like this on purpose. The shorter one was going to be this one, the longer one on this side. There we go. And the longer one here is going to go to the shorter one here. And we will find out if I theory crafted that correctly. Alright, so let's make this part nice and tidy. Give everything a little bit of room to breathe. Like that. Let's get our Tessa tape. I love this stuff. And tightly wrap our wires. All right. And we can clean that up a little later. Yeah. Nice. Okay, digging it. Let's get another piece. Let's get 3. If you guys don't have this stuff, highly suggest it. It's called Tessa tape. T-E-S-A. Also, don't be like me. Test your wiring before you put this stuff on. I guess we'll find out if I did the fans correctly or not. Let's be hopeful. All right. Nice, clean wiring. Well, you know, it's going to be cleaner than this, but it's clean for now. Yeah, we'll leave that how it is for right this second. Okay. The screw on the bottom here. Let's see what I can do about that before I clean up my work area just a little bit. Gotta remember to charge this LiPo because I've now used it twice. Oh, you know what I didn't think about is actually finding something in there to print. I probably have stuff on there that I can print. Yeah, I probably do. My Clipper saves files. Yes, so it's not super sticky actually. It's really like not super sticky, but it sticks to itself, and after a short period of time, like even after a few hours, it's like bonds to itself really well. And it doesn't damage any wiring. Like it's specifically made for wiring, for making wire looms. And it's, you know, it's gentle on the wires, unlike a zip tie that literally like cranks down on wiring. So I definitely like it a lot. All right, that keeps my OCD at bay. Okay. Let's flip that back. Okay, and let's test this. Except safe for wiring. Yeah, it's specifically made for wiring. All right, I need an M4 bolt or nut. Print poop. Thanks for the tip on Tesla tape. I just ordered a roll from who else? Amazon. Yep. Yes. Don't forget, if you guys are ordering on Amazon, use some of my links. I know that's obviously like a weird thing to ask for, but it definitely helps the channel tremendously, and it doesn't cost anything. I should probably, while I do these lives, I should probably add links into the descriptions and stuff, but like I mentioned before, I don't necessarily enjoy like begging for that type of stuff, if that makes sense. But, you know. Alright, let's go lower this down. Let's see how far off I actually am. I have a feeling it's going to be quite a bit. Okay, not too bad, but at least a half an inch. What am I going to do about that? So I have like a bunch of miscellaneous hardware in the garage, but leaving a live stream to go to a garage is going to be whack. So let me see if I can figure something else out. Maybe you can add a clip or something. This little rubber bumper, but it's rubber, so that's not going to work. Alright, brain. Give me some ideas. Yeah, plenty of M5s that are long. Plenty of M3s that are long. Maybe I can put this on there, this little bumper. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to use this kind of little feet. A little stick-on foot on the bottom there. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Okay. Looks promising. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Solution. It's not begging to ask for support. It just feels weird. I don't know why. Like, I do marketing for my own business and things like that, but for YouTube, for some reason, it just feels different. I literally do website marketing for businesses and corporations, like local businesses. So I know all about like that aspect of it. But for some reason for YouTube, I don't know. Okay, we're actually getting really, really good results from this little bumper thing that I put on here. Let's see. Just tighten it. Alright, that's gonna work, I think. Let's go right here. Tighten this down just with my fingers for now. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Alright. That might even be a more permanent solution than I anticipated. Just tighten it so that it does not move. Oh yeah. We're golden. I'll be able to level that pretty easily, I think. Okay. Oh, the camera wasn't looking there at all. It's okay. Sorry, it's hard to remember that I have to finagle two cameras. Alright. Right, I'm off to bed. Alright, Mark. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. 4:30. Oof. Yeah, it's time to get some catch some Z's there. Zeke, if you use something and recommend it, it's a huge help. And there's so many options on Amazon, and some of them are terrible. Yeah, that's true. I just don't know how to handle them on live. Like, maybe it's a good idea to just drop them in the chat or something like that and pin them to the top. Maybe that's a good idea. I usually try to include links everywhere in all my descriptions. And on Discord, I have like a whole section for just links. And, you know, to be completely honest, like Amazon and all the other affiliates, all of that is at least 50%, if not more, of any income that happens from YouTube. You actually don't make that much from YouTube at all. Like, it's almost sad how much you make from YouTube. I can see how if you stuck with like some brand and really push them like crazy, I think you can make some money, and I guarantee you some people do, especially in 3D printing, because there's a couple like bigger names that stick to a certain brand more than others, and I guarantee you they make a ton of money from just that brand. But I don't necessarily want to do that because I don't believe in that. Look at that. Candy corn fund. Zoomy, thank you. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. It's very kind of you. If I had candy corn right now, I would get it and eat it. Very kind. All right. Let's go ahead and get the Raspberry Pi and boot up our Clipper instance and try to figure it out. All right, where is it? It's over here. So my trusty Raspberry Pi. Plug that in. Let's run that down here. Get this out of the way. Let me grab this cable for powering the Raspberry Pi. This Raspberry Pi was worth more than that whole printer that I took apart for it, which is hilarious. Alright, so this can get unplugged. This can get unplugged. And this can be plugged. Alright, Raspberry Pi on. Raspberry Pi is on. Let's get this printer some power. Here we go. All right, let's power on the printer. Power. One thing no one told me about Clipper is that the screen doesn't work. Obviously, you don't need one. You're kind of like untethered at that point. But is that old Pi from the printer he killed? Yes. So a lot of parts on here are from that machine. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of happy I did it, because instead of it sitting on my couch over here, well, there's no more couch there, but instead of it just sitting there collecting dust, some of the parts are being used. The hot end is from that machine. The fan is from that machine. Also, that is a really loud fan. It's the correct fan that's spinning, so that's good. Wow, that's yeah, that's a loud fan. I'm going to replace that. Get a nice touchscreen. Yeah, I've seen some people modify it, and I think I'll eventually try to get like one of those pads. And if not one of those pads, I'm going to make a pad with, where is it? I have, where did I put it? I have this. I just don't have the adapter for the CB1. I have the Raspberry Pad 5 from BTT, Big Tree Tech. Some of you guys might be familiar with this. So this they sent me this a long time ago. I haven't even opened it. It needs a CM4 unit, and this was before it went on a shortage, and I never was able to get one. And their CB1 does not work with this, which is why it's been here ever since. But I'm kind of waiting to find. I mean, they're expensive. You can get one for like $125, but man, that would be the most expensive thing. Like, obviously, it's not that much money in the grand scheme of things, but still, I don't want to pay that much money for something that should be $25 or less. It's just like it feels so wrong. I don't even want to do it. So that's why that Raspberry Pi, that pad has been sitting there. I really don't like how loud that fan is. It's insane. All right, let's see if I can pull up the browser view. That's YouTube. We need to go here. This should be fluid pi.local. There we go. All right, cool. Whoops. Oh. So there you go. That's how much I know. I hit emergency stop by accident. All right, so fans. Man, I really gotta get acquainted with this. All right, it's right here. Nozzle fan. Part fan? Why part fan not work? Part fan? Why did it not work? What's this one? The wiring seems correct. Part fan. Why are you not working? Lord, I would love that. I know very little about this. Like, I'm literally a few days into Clipper, so I definitely need some time to really get a grip on it. Although so far, I really enjoy what I'm seeing here. Why is this parts fan not working? Let me do the good old restart everything thing first, right? So, no, you know what? Hold on, this is Clipper. You're supposed to do it this way. Services. Let's restart this. And then the host as well. I mean, it's such a good fan. All right. Okay, so first test when this comes back on, I guess. What's happening here? What have I done? No Moonraker connection. Oh, here we go. Okay, my camera's not working because I'm using the camera here instead of plugging it into the Pi. Does anything work? Okay. The answer is yes. Okay. Okay. Let's try again. Let's try the fans. Yes, Zumi, this is Clipper. All right, so parts fan, hit it, and I see it sent it. Should I? No, I shouldn't change this. It was working before. Okay, so something is up. It can't be with this connector, right? So here's how we test. I'm gonna undo it. I'm gonna plug it into this one. Okay, so it's the fan, which is crazy. But does this one work here? Does this one work here? It does. Does it work on this one? Since it's on right now? Yes. Okay, so it's the actual fan. Okay. Yeah, so Zoomy, the best way to look at this is not only do you have full control, right? Like this is, your heating, like here's your bed, here's your extruder. You just really quickly, type, hit enter, go, and there you can see now it's calling for that much temperature. You can do everything here on this little thing. You can send your G code. I mean, this is, you could do this in Octoprint. Here's how you save all of your files to print. You can tune it very, very easily. You can set up these macros in advance, so where you can just click things and it'll do a G code command, for example. And then the best part about it, in my opinion, is if you're going to do anything that involves configuring the machine again, like I just redid stuff, I need to do E-steps, it's all done in these documents right here, right away. So for example, I'm going to go into the printer config, and once it loads here, and like I said, I'm only a few days into it, here's all of the settings for this particular machine, which makes it so easy to modify this type of thing on the fly. Actually, I think I went into the wrong thing. Yeah, because this is where he changed like acceleration and stuff. I'm gonna go back. In the configs, extruder, right? So for example, here's the steps. So we got micro steps. Here's that rotation distance. I have it saved on the side here as 22.67. So is that where I put it? I put it here. I think so. Zex, if you're still in here, is that where I put it? Yes, Zoomy. It would replace Alex's, and you wouldn't have your screen anymore, but there's ways you can run a different screen. But, this is all wireless. You need a Pi or something along those lines to run it. I know you have some. This would replace both. You run Clipper both on your printer and, well, it doesn't replace Octoprint. You can run them both at the same time. You can run Octoprint and Clipper at the same time. But yeah, both get flashed with it, yes. All right, so I'm going to put it here. So what I'll do is I'll comment this out, and I'll write old, like this. And we will put, oops, I guess I'll type it. Oh, right here. It's already predetermined, so I don't even have to do this. Wow, that's cool. It's already in here. All right, and do I need to do the gear ratio as well? Yeah, but as you can see, Zoomy, like for example, if I needed to do this, I would have to dig around and send G code and do calculations and things like that. Not that you don't have to do the calculations here, but it's very easy to do. You just save, reboot it. Right here, I'm just gonna hit save, restart. Give it a second, let it do its thing. And there you go. Now we're back into it, and it loaded that firmware that I put in just now and changed all the settings to. And that part alone, in my personal opinion, is worth it. Okay, so also I just realized I'm heating this without having a fan on. So, man, okay. So it looks like the fan that I installed isn't working, and I'm going to need parts cooling, obviously. What do you guys think? Send it real quick before it's 12 o'clock without a parts cooling fan? Can I use my Kindle Fire as a pad screen? You might be able to. I'm not sure exactly if a Kindle can run it. You might have to do some like hacky stuff to get it running. But you could just use any browser. You can use your phone to just pull this up. Like, this isn't an app. This is just literally fluidpi.local. Like, it's a website. So you can see the portion of Clipper like this anywhere. And it actually works really well on the phone. So there's a lot to like, and if you like to like know your settings and have control, I don't honestly know if there's anything better. Like, Alex's gives you a lot. It gives you a lot of this, and with Marlin, which is nice. But I feel like this is a little bit on the next level. And then you can also do things like you can buy an accelerometer, which I haven't wired up yet. You can buy an accelerometer, and you can use this accelerometer to attach it to your hot end and then your bed, and really calibrate your machine to a level that you can't do with Marlin, which is really nice. So I'm a huge fan. I know it's not for everybody, for sure, and I'm not going to put it on every machine I have. Like, this is going to be really specific. But as always, I've always enjoyed the wireless nature of it, and I just, like I said, since I'm tweaking things on certain machines, it's really nice to be able to do those tweaks, click a button, and have them there instead of compiling and flashing, which I've never been a huge fan of. No pun intended with a broken fan. Man, I can't believe this fan is faulty. Let me just take a look at it before I give up on it. And do I have a benchy? I do have a benchy. I have a 44-minute benchy. The problem is that's going to need some insane cooling, and without cooling, it's just going to get screwed up. But maybe I'll give it a try. I don't know. Maybe I pulled the wires out or something? No. This is a brand new fan. That's why I'm so bummed about it. Let me stop heating the hot end. And also, I have to remember to heat it to 230 because I did print, I think, even some carbon fiber stuff on it on my old machine. Alright. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to remove this panel, see if I can wiggle this fan free or something along those lines. Just make some kind of attempt at progress. Feels bad, man. Especially because in yesterday's stream, I forgot the lever. Now I have the lever in, and now the fan doesn't work. Bonus signs for the fan. Yeah, I'm really bummed about it, actually. I really wanted that fan specifically. But, in all honesty, this gives me a chance to revisit the fans. I really don't like how loud this fan is. I think this is the original Aquila fan, and it's ancient. Yeah, I must have pulled this out. Must have. Should probably be slightly more careful with metal around here, considering it's getting 24 volts right now. Yeah, that's a dead fan. Well, here you go. You can at least see if polarity isn't reversed, but I'll try in a second because I plugged in the other fan and it ran. Oops, pressing all the wrong buttons. Can you guys see this on screen? Yeah, so this is what I wanted to show, like how you have to cut the fan to get it in here. I always thought that was kind of neat. Let's span the fan in the other direction. Let me just, for funsies, like because the wires are this color. Let's check. Let's check. Can I shove it in here? No, wait. I don't want to do that. I don't want to send sparks everywhere. Right, if I plug in this fan while it's getting 24 volts and it's reverse. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Although if it's reverse now. Oh boy. No, so here's how I can check. If I remove this fan that's running right now, and I plug it into here, this is how I know polarity on this side is correct. Come on. I don't want to stick anything metal into this connector. I bent that pin a little bit when I was soldering. There it goes. That's in. Let's go back in the clipper. Wait, was Zoomy, when I was talking to you, I had this view on. I didn't even have the right view. I was trying to have this browser view on. I'm sorry. I don't even know how I got it to that side. This 100. Yeah, see, so that's the connection here is working fine. Yeah, it's something with this fan. And this one should just be running. Oh, and let's do this. Let's plug in this fan into here. Yeah, no luck. No, that's just how it is, I guess. Here's another thing I can test. Is I have another fan, I believe, that I didn't want to cut up. But does it have a connector on it? It has a different connector on it. But let's try it. So, yep, it works right away. There she blows. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Very sad about the fan, I gotta say. Okay, for the sake of the stream, because it is getting late. Yeah, Dead on Arrival, brand new fan. And I really like this brand too. Oh well. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this fan out of here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it in here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this back together. Just real quick and dirty. And I'm going to print a benchy without cooling. And I know all the things. I'm fully aware. It's not going to come out great. But I'm okay with that. And if it's, horrible, I'll stop it. But at least this will give me a chance to level the machine, and start a print on it with the new hardware, And that will be a success and a win, and then the rest will be tweaks. Putting a fan on is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, in comparison to being able to print. So you win some, you lose some, it's fine. It's all on how you look at it, right? I will do a speed benchy at some point, but I think the benchy I have on here is like 44 minutes. At least for this machine, without any tuning whatsoever, it's okay, at least for me. All things considered. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. So, how did the view change again in Discord? I mean, in Discord. Like, I thought I was here. How did it change? Oh, when I typed. Right? Like macros. No. I gotta figure out this OBS thing. So, my apologies for the view. I'm not sure how it changed from the browser view, but okay. Let's go in here. Let's go to Clipper. This is already hot. Let's get this to 230. And look, it changed again. Okay, so it's got to be me typing. Good old OBS. Hotkeys. That's what it is. That's what it is. Hotkeys. I got to remove them. And I have to get one of those things that everyone has that switches, like the extra little keypad, which I can build. I designed some. Let me hit apply here. All right, here's a test. I'm going to go back to the browser view. I'm going here. Let's just make this 5. Let's make this 215. Here I'm changing it again. 230. Here's 60. Now let's go back to OBS and check. Okay, it stayed. So that's what it was. My apologies, guys. Learning as I go. $44 minutes. So yes, it'll be faster eventually. But that's what I got it to do just out of the box. As soon as I put Clipper on here, I printed a 44-minute benchy. And keep in mind, I'm coming from regular machines that printed in 2 hours. So that's fast for me. All right. Home. Some old filament in there is coming out. Okay, let's home again. And then I think there is somewhere there were buttons in here. Bed screw adjust. There we go. So Zoomy, this is cool. You know how like some machines have this specifically, but some don't. And this is a cool thing that's in here. It's really simple. So bed screw adjust, and we can adjust them. I'm gonna eyeball it for now. Alright, so that one's good, and I'm gonna go accept first, then I'll move, and we'll do another round. I'm gonna block the view up. That just sucked in some filament. Oops, I think I was supposed to hit adjust and not accept. But I'm already doing it, so. I'll click it again in a minute. Yep, that's good. Let's go back to that one. Oh, it's actually pretty good. Alright, that's adjusted. Oops, now I was supposed to hit accept. Yep, that's good. I'll hit accept now. Okay, good. And good. Okay, accept. So there you go. Nice little assisted leveling built right in. Very nice and easy. 25-minute benching should be average. Yeah, that's what I hear. Okay. All right, let's get a roll of filament. Let's see what I have like right here somewhere. Let's do. Is there an orange in this pile? Considering it's a king room machine. No. No is the answer. All right. Here's the other part I don't like about this machine. Well, the only other thing I don't like about this machine is the filament, where the filament spool is and does. I don't like it. Kind of want to put it up top, but then I lose the ability of putting it underneath on the bottom rack there. So that's a no-go. So yeah, a non-cooled benchy is going to be trash. But hey, maybe it'll all work out, who knows. I just want to melt some filament on the new hot end before we kick it here. Come on in. There we go. Oh yeah, and we're feeding, so let's turn this down to, I think I have it at 215, I don't remember. But it's definitely not 230. Oh yeah, that goes so smooth. So that should be quick. This, we should be able to put that in the reverse Bowden. All right. Let's see what it do. Look at that, we get a little preview. So I have a feeling that because this printer is on rails, it has this really nice hot end, really nice extruder. I have a feeling I should be able to get a pretty decent benchy going. Hello, and we're off. All right, let's get you a better view because this thing is zooming, no pun intended. Well, it's not, according to most people that print fast now. That leveling looks horrible. That leveling looks horrible. That is not leveled. Oh well, we're just gonna send it. I just want to see it move and print. All right, that's going to be a failure because this needs to be tweaked real quick. So let me just let me restart. Cancel print. Come on out of there. Where's the motors off button? Motors off. Oh yeah, brutal. All right, let's do one turn, one turn, one turn, one turn. Very scientific here. And then let's do a reprint. All right. The E-steps look good. The parts that did print look pretty decent. Let's see what this thing's doing. We're heating back up. Yep. That bed cools quick. Wow. It was like seconds, and it was at 58. Wow. Surprising. So yeah, pressure advance is still something I have to figure out, and then linear, or not linear. I have to figure out how to install Clipper on that little Pi Zero. I'll follow Nero's do-it-yourself, and then I'll go ahead and tune it at some point and see what we can do with it. And I'll use it as a base for maybe doing the same thing to an Aquila. Alright, we should be printing any second now. Unless I did something wrong again. That bed leveling? That's how I do it. I do have silicone pads on it instead of springs. I printed some new wheels because I couldn't stand those yellow wheels. And that should all be good. However, why are we not printing and the temperature is looking good? Let's do... what's going on here? Maybe I have to home. I think I have to home on Clipper. These are things you have to learn. I think you have to home, and then you have to load in the file. Like this. Holy moly, that's what it was. Jeez. That is not used to that snappiness. Okay, we got one letter all jacked up. It's this G-code file doesn't have a skirt, which it needs. It needs a couple rings of a skirt. The movement of the machine is so quiet. It's the fan. That fan's really loud. Just too loud. So if both those fans are ripped, yeah, this isn't my start G code for this Benchy. It's the Benchy that whoever made this the Clipper tutorial had an included one. There was a couple Benchies on there. There was like a 27-minute Benchy and a 44, and the 27 I couldn't print. It was failing over and over again. So I kept this one because it worked actually decently. But yeah, it needs a different start code. It needs at least a purge line somewhere. Why wouldn't you do that, you know? But yeah, when I reslice it for my own needs, I will edit that for sure. And also, well, I guess without a cooling fan, this isn't going to go very well. I wonder if it's worth doing this. Let's do it. Which way? This way? Aw. Look at that. Oh, there's literally a start print. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Can I just lay this? Oh, I can't. Come on, let me be lazy. Let me be lazy, fam. Ow. Look at that. Now that's a setup right there. That's hilarious. You know what we'll do? Let's crank it. You know what? Where if we go YOLO? That fan's about to go flying. Guys, rate my setup. Lord, how do you feel about this? We got a good old dangler going. Wow. That's hilarious. Do you even need a print? Do you even need to do a shroud? I think the dangler is working just fine. This benchy looks piss poor. But hey, look, the Afterburner is working well. None of this is a fault of the Afterburner. It is literally a fault of mine, if anything, really. But I'll replace both of the fans. This one will be quiet, and the top one will be that fan. I'll just cut that fan up. I'm really surprised that this fan isn't working. Kind of sad. Look at that cooling fan design. It's amazing. So in my slicer, my start G-code is 2 lines. Start print, temp parameters, and my size. In config, I can change my start actions. You can do that. So in your start G-code, you can tell it to look for the start print document. And in your start print document, you can edit all your start print stuff. So you don't have to do it in the slicer. So you just leave your start G-code in your slicer empty. It needs dual. Yeah, this is like a Boo's nightmare. Yeah. Interesting. That's really interesting. I'll show you later. I appreciate that. That's really cool. So, you know, without proper cooling, it's working. It's extruding fine. You know, obviously, I'm sure it can be tuned tremendously, but I can level it. I can print. My light is about to fall down. Wow. So what I'm going to have to learn after, you know, fixing the hardware, making the wiring look decent, and cleaning it up, because my OCD will never let me handle leaving this like this. After all that's cleaned up and the problems are solved, I'm going to make this Now, here's a question to you guys, is I have a, what's this little thing called? I don't remember the name. MPU 512. What's the name of this thing? I don't remember. The accelerometer, the little accelerometer thing. Oh, I dropped it. I have an accelerometer and a Raspberry Pi Pico. So I know I can put Clipper on here and use this as the sensor to do, is it linear advance? I don't remember the words. So that I would love to do it. So I'll do that after I clean up the print, and I'll get this thing tuned, but I'll need some help. And then pressure advance, that's just loading up a print, printing it, measuring, and putting the new number in. So that's not a problem. That'll just be an evening. ADXL 345, yes. Input shaper, thank you. God, I can't remember words sometimes. Input shaper, that's what I was looking for. The dangle. The dangle, I'm leaving it. That's how it's going to be. The cooling's amazing. You know, coming from like a regular printer and seeing this right now, it's just hilarious. Also, this is shaking my table so much. The fan. I bet the VORON guys are just dying inside seeing this. Yes, look at her go. Amazing. I should do just a live stream of this shot. Oh, there it goes. And our boat is off to sail. Oh my god. That's amazing. Worth it. That was absolutely worth it. Alright, well, that was a lot of fun. Let me go ahead and let's clear the file out of there. Alright, let's lift this up. There you go. And go ahead and turn this fan off. And is there a cool down button? Presets, heaters off. Oh yeah, look at that. Everything's so intuitive and nice. So what you're saying, Lord, is in configuration, there is a start. I have to make one, I'm guessing. Yeah, these are logs. Config examples. Whoa. Wow, there's so many. Whoa. Interesting. Okay, cool. So you can just pull them in that quickly, huh? Alright, so in here you would make one, right? You would hit add and make a start. Oh, PID, cool. Yeah, I really need to take some time when I go through there. Oh. Okay, I mean, it's somewhat straightforward. Like, that's just a folder with files in it. So you put in the file, and then in the start G code, you just have it, call to that file. I understand. I mean, Zoom, I just started it for fun. It wasn't, this wasn't like a serious thing. But, which camera we got going on? If you look here, like just the extrusion itself, it's pretty good for not having cooling on. Looks like it was a little too hot. You can see how it's shiny down here. You might actually not be able to see. There we go. This is all obvious. This was just done for fun. I didn't expect to have a perfect benchy without any fans and that thing dangling. But for what it's worth, it's extruding fine. It's printing fine. It's moving fine. It just has some fan issues. All right, everybody. I think, technically speaking, this was a success. I wanted to install the Afterburner, and the Afterburner is installed. We had a casualty with the fan/fans. I don't have to reprint anything for the cover. I just have to redo the fan. No big deal. Everything else is running smoothly. The wiring is going to be nice and neat once I have my little cables organized here. It's ready to go, and I'm really excited to have this machine back. So I'm definitely going to spend some time probably tomorrow night. Actually, it's the weekend. I might not be able to, but at some point I'll clean this thing up, and then I'll have my little workhorse back, and I'll get to tinker with it a little bit more. So thank you, everybody, for joining me yet again on this live. I had a lot of fun, as I typically do. Thanks for chatting. Thank you, everybody, for helping me with some of these settings. Yeah, I think that's all for me. And, well, as always, I'll see you down in the comments. Everybody have a good night, good morning, wherever you are. I'll see you guys in the Discord in the comments. Yeah, I had fun too. All right.